What's up everyone? Time for a review of the Russian DJ Zedd's second solo LP. It's titled True Colors, the follow-up to 2012's Clarity, an album that I don't think I ever reviewed in video form for whatever reason. Obviously it had hits like Stash and Kodak and of course the inescapable track featuring Fox's Clarity. Seriously, summer of 2013, that track haunted me. It was everywhere. It's not that I didn't like that song at first, I honestly did. I love the UK singer Fox's, her voice is fantastic, but the radio killed that one, that's for sure. As with any DJ, you're gonna get comments like, oh, I remember when Zedd was so cool back in the day, he had the hardest drops and the biggest bass wubs and everything like that, now he's just a sellout. Well, you could pretty much say that about anything, but listen, there is a good balance here on this record between radio-friendly songs like lead single I Want You to Know, Beautiful Now, featuring Jon Bellion, who actually gets featured on a couple of tracks here on this one, and then your more aggressive tracks that really push the envelope as to what EDM is all about these days. It's not just about the drops, the bass, it's about a little bit more. It's just an enveloping feel, and the only one that I can really use as a prime example as to when things catch fire, it's the opening track, Addicted to a Memory. It features the group Bahiri, I'm sorry if I did not pronounce that right, and it's one of these tracks that maybe starts like, maybe you're like, oh, it's gonna be a typical EDM track, it's just got a build up and then a bass drop, and while the bass drop is really cool the first time around, it's just kind of glitched out and like sporadic and that sort of thing. It's a whole lot of fun, and I was already having fun with the track, but I remember my first listen, I wasn't really giving it that much attention, I suppose, not as much as I should. I just kind of threw on the album in a background. I do that sometimes for like a test run, just to listen through it one time, but then it really started to catch my ear around the 340 mark of this track. It started creeping and building, and everything started, and it's just this explosion of sounds that it's so hard to describe. It's absolutely euphoric. It's like an explosion of a rainbow. All these different things, all these different synthesizers flying from different directions and just crashing into this monster house of a song. There is no better way to start an album. This track is absolutely insanely irresistible. It's ear candy, eargasmy even. I'll even say that this track shot straight into my top 10 after a couple of listens, and just noting everything about this track, the underlying bass work and everything about it, just listen to this song, I beg you, please, on at least some decent speakers, because if not, then you're gonna miss out on so much. While that's the case for many songs in this genre, like EDM, house, big beat, that sort of thing, I think in particular Zedd is a DJ that really pays attention to detail. I would almost call him someone being OCD, because he pays so much attention to what's going on in the background. Even on some of the tracks that feel a little bit more generic to me, like Done With Love or even Beautiful Now, both which feature Jon Bellion. Those are tracks that have underlying work that I can appreciate just because of the way a synth clashed with something else in the background, and I think that that's a true show of musicianship there. The man's clearly got an ear for melodies. I think he writes the majority of lyrics for or else with these artists that he works with and collaborates with on these tracks. A prime example of when things go extremely well, besides Addicted to a Memory, of course, the track Transmission, which features both Logic, the rapper, and ex-ambassadors who are blowing up right now with their hit Renegades. Transmission has synthesizers that kind of click-clack and work really well, just have a fun feeling about them all throughout the track. They go really well with Logic's flow during his rap verse, which is actually really solid, and I was kind of surprised. Another one that really impressed me is the title track, True Love, which I'm seeing a lot of track listings, I believe, being listed inaccurately, because there is no way this is Kesha featured on the track. I saw it in multiple locations. True Love featuring Kesha. I don't know what's up with that. If anyone could feel free to let me know in the comment section down below why she's listed, because I know this isn't Kesha on vocals. I believe it might be the girl from Rock Mafia if I'm not mistaken, and this track is absolutely mesmerizing. I love it. It's got a dark feel about it. It's not your typical like house or EDM styled song. It's much more atmospheric and kind of moody even, and I love the way that the track right before it, Done With Love, fades directly into it. It's a seamless transition and it just works absurdly well. There are a couple of tracks that feel a little bit more mediocre towards the end of this thing that actually close it out. Daisy featuring Julia Michaels, and then the track Illusion with Echo Smith. That one went on just a little bit too long for me. I did like where they were headed with that. I do like the vocalist of Echo Smith, so I thought I would enjoy it, but running for 6 minutes, it just didn't have enough substance there to really justify that runtime. Now on the other hand, there is a over 7-minute track with Troye Sivan, a teen star that's really blowing up right now, that totally works, and definitely I could listen to it for probably 15 minutes at the pace it was going. Papercut is a true test of patience, and I say that because there is such attack and release. Troye Sivan's vocals are very smooth and almost a little bit mysterious, and I like that that adds a little bit of extra flair and texture to the song. It hits its highs and it hits its lows, and it definitely goes on a long instrumental break, and I don't know, it's just really something that's hooked my attention. Bumblebee is the final track that I'll mention. It features the fellow producer Botnick on the track. They kind of worked together and collaborated on this one, and I like the groove that's going on here, especially once it gets to the drop of this song. You guys will have to hear it for yourself because it's really quite intriguing and interesting. One thing I forgot to mention, the track Done With Love, which features Jon Bellion, actually feels like an ode to Daft Punk right in the beginning. I mean, the vocoded vocals feel like something ripped straight from their playbook. True Colors is probably the biggest surprise of 2015 so far for me. I went in with mediocre at best expectations, and I came out with my mind blown a little bit. There were some areas that I thought were good, and there's some that are definitely great, and there's some that just kind of blew me away, and one of those obviously being Addicted to a Memory. Moments on that track just really get the heart racing and make you feel alive. This album, True Colors, gets a 4 out of 5 from me. So if you've heard the second LP, True Colors, from the Russian DJ, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments section down below. If there are other albums you'd like to see me tackle, let me know about those in the comments as well. And don't forget to hit the like button while you're at it. Maybe subscribe to the channel, because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed, and I will see you very soon right here on ARTV.